What's up, party people? Welcome to Geared Up. This is our 3 times a week live broadcast where we discuss lighting techniques, tips and tricks to lighting. I guess that would be a technique. Messing this whole thing up already. I'm like 3 seconds in and I'm repeating myself. But we talk all things lighting. So if you have any questions about, what we're discussing, feel free to ask. And if you have any questions about anything else, also don't hesitate to ask it. If it's something that I can answer quickly, I'll answer. If not, we have Anders and other rad people from our team in the chats. If you're watching this on prophoto.com, you're going to have the better, I don't necessarily want to say the better experience, but the more interactive experience. So around the screen, you'll see there might be something like here, where there'll be pictures of the products that pop up as we talk about them. What you can do is you can click on that if you want some more information on those products. Really, really cool feature that we have there. That's on prophoto.com only. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you won't see that. You'll just see this mug right here, this face. So let's get into what we're talking about today. So yesterday we discussed freeze mode with a flash. We talked about how your flash duration and your flash itself can become the shutter for your camera when you're trying to stop action, and like I said, specifically freeze mode. Today we're going to dive into using high-speed sync versus using freeze mode, the pros and the cons. So let's talk about that right off the jump. So freeze mode inherently is going to give you faster speeds when you have control over your ambient like we have here in a studio situation. The reason that that's important and that's an important caveat is 2 things. Freeze mode works the best at lower power settings on your flash. It's just inherently what it does. Is everything good?
Oh no, I was trying to see what this is. It's the computer. I can see it in there.
Oh, you can see the computer in the shot.
In the live shot.
Oh, gotcha. It's freaking me out for a second.
No, it's fine.
Cool. I was like, are my feet on fire? I can't tell. But so freeze mode is going to require your camera to be below the camera's maximum sync speed before you go into high speed sync, and you're going to want to shoot at lower powers because that's where your flash durations are going to be faster. Now the nice thing about things like the D2 behind me and the B10X Plus behind me is that they have such fast flash durations that as the power starts to get higher and higher, you're still well within a freeze range. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you are in a place where you can control all of your light, all of your ambient, freeze mode is going to be far superior to high-speed sync because you're going to be able to get much faster speeds and you're going to be able to actually pulse faster. That brings me into high-speed sync. Where does high-speed sync have advantages? High-speed sync is, let's first establish what high-speed sync was developed for, and that is ambient control. Stopping action. But the upside is there is going to be some action that you can stop with it. The downside for high-speed sync is it's not as short of a flash pulse as your freeze modes are going to be. Where, again, like I said yesterday, essentially a flash pulse looks like this. It's a burst of light and then it trails off. Whenever high-speed sync is working, it actually turns the light on like a continuous light. So it turns the light on and then it has a lot of little pulses up at the top and then it fades out. So because that light is on longer, it's harder to stop action. The upside is you have a shutter that can kind of mitigate some of that just because it's opening and closing at a higher rate of speed. So the downside is you're not going to be able to pulse as fast. You're definitely not going to get the frame rates that your camera can do because it's having to manage the timing of turning that light on and pulsing it. And you'll see that here in just a second. Also, if the speed starts getting to a point where it's just too fast, you're not going to stop it with high speed sync. You can't do it. Whereas, the fastest some cameras can go is 1/8,000th of a second. That's what this camera can do. Your flash durations can on the Pro 10, Pro 11 can get up to 1/80,000th of a second in TO5 times. So that's something to think about there. So let's talk about what we're photographing today. If you didn't see yesterday, we're photographing the same thing, but we have a comparison between TTL and high speed sync. So we have a D2 500 right here. It's the faster of the D2s when it comes to flash duration, up to 1/63,000th of a second. And we're using an RFI 1x4 strip box with the grid. I would use my other D2, but like I said yesterday, I don't have another RFI strip. So we brought in a B10X Plus, up to 1/50,000th of a second flash durations. So really fast on that thing as well. They're both 500 watt units. I use the B10X Plus to match the wattage. And then through an OCF 1x4 strip, that's also gridded so that we can control the light, put it right where we want it. And then we're going to be, so we can have TTL control, I have a Connect on top of my camera. But if I need to change any power stuff, I'll do it from this air remote in my pocket. So cool. You ready to rock and roll, Kate?
I'm ready.
So for ambient purposes, we're going to turn because like I said, ambient control is pretty important with this. So we're going to turn these overhead lights off. I'm going to leave the continuous lights on the actual flash units on. That way there is some light, you can see what's going on. But this should be fun. So the first shot that we're going to do is going to be just a freeze mode shot. We should still be in freeze mode. And one of the things to know, if you go into high-speed sync on these with your trigger, freeze mode will automatically deactivate. It'll turn off because they're competing technologies. So if you happen to leave leave your sync speed and go into high-speed sync, you don't worry about having to go back to the flash and change it into freeze mode, or change that to freeze mode, because it does it automatically. So something cool to know. So let's do some photographing. So I have my camera set up. Guess what, Caitlin?
What?
I'm focused.
What?
Yeah, get out of town. It's crazy, I know. So we're going to, you know what, I say that we're focused, but I see the height at which Caitlin's going to pour this, which I think it might get a little...
I'm not going to throw it from this high.
Okay, gotcha. You were freaking me out for a second, but so I was backing up.
Oh my god.
So let me just refocus really fast.
I'm sure it would look beautiful.
Yep.
All right.
Look very...
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're already splashing? Making messes.
You work on my aim here.
Cool. All right, here we go.
You see me okay?
Yeah, we're good to go. And so I'm going to go into continuous high on my camera to make sure that we can pulse really quick. And when you're ready, I'm ready with 3, 2, 1. Cool. So in your freeze mode, we're able to shoot really high frame rates like you saw. You can see them loading into the on the computer as well. So we were able to fire off a lot of shots. Really cool option for making sure you get the shot that you want to get. Now, if we switch over into high-speed sync mode, so let's take it all the way to 8,000 a second. Let's get wily. So here's one of the differences going to happen. We might be able to, let's just take it to 8,000 just because you need to see this. I'm going to take a TTL shot just to kind of get the light right. See kind of where we are. Was that too dark?
We got a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of images loading in, so let me see. Oh, that's right. I don't have a, yeah, that one was dark. Let's see really fast. We're in TTL mode. That looks dark. I might have to actually open up my aperture some or slow down my shutter speed. Actually, I might just be able to power the flash up because, let's see, sorry. Yeah, so let's power the flashes up. Let's do master and turn everything up together. I want to make sure that they're roughly the same power, about 5.5. Yeah, they're the exact same power. So let's go, let's take it up a stop or two. Did that register?
Not seeing it.
It's not super happy right now. Hold on, I'm gonna reseat my Connect. Oh, you know what? I'm still in TTL mode, so it overrode what I wanted it to do. Let's see, 3, 2, 1. No. This might actually be too, I might have to actually open up. Let's try this. No, yeah, I'm starting to see it come in a little bit, but man, that's it's having a hard time. Let's power all the way up. Let's go to, let's take that all the way up. Let's take that all the way up. Let's see what happens. So we're asking a lot of this right now. And this is kind of where high-speed sync, you know what, I'm gonna try restarting this thing because I'm having a hard time getting my camera to want to play with this high-speed sync for some reason. This may not be cooperating for me today. It's barely creeping into the shot. It's like, let's slow down. It's like they're, the cool thing about doing this live is I get to embarrass myself live, so that's cool.
Oh, I'm seeing
Yeah, the glass is trying to come in. The glass is trying to come in, but for some reason, my my B light is tripping out, and I don't necessarily know why. Other than, sorry, party peeps. Sometimes things throw me for a little bit of a. Okay, so what it is my triggers. Oh, you know what I might need to do? Let's check this really fast. I think this was the issue. Yep, that was the issue. Okay, cool. I sorted it out. For some reason, my camera wasn't telling the trigger to go into high-speed sync, but it's fixed now. So let's do a TTL shot. Let's lock it into place. So now we take the shot. One of the things you're going to see, and I apologize again for that little delay, but what you're going to see is you're going to see that the camera can't, the flash can't recycle as fast. So let's do this, Kate. Ready? 3.
Get this over the top. Hold on.
Yep.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Oh, hey, that was happy. Whoa. Was I below my sync speed? No, it's 1,000 frames a second. All right, I want to do this. I want to go to 8,000 now. Let's take a TTL shot. There we go. A lot of power.
We're gonna have like 50.
Yeah, we're gonna have a million shots coming in. Okay. This is actually, I'm not gonna lie, massively impressed by the speed that this is photographing. I'm at 2.8. I want to see what power level this thing says that I'm at. Yeah, power level of 9. They're fast flashes. So let's see this. At 8,000 of a second, power level of 9. 3, 2, 1. So you're gonna see. So this is what I was kind of talking about. We're good now, Kate.
All right.
Cool. So because it takes a lot for high-speed sync to manage the pulse, you're gonna find that, and especially because it's such a high-powered pulse, you're gonna find that you're gonna drop a lot of frames. So that's a funky thing. I must have changed that FP setting on my camera at some point in time because I've never messed with it before, and the auto switching is usually always on the money. So let's see. So this is what I was talking about up here before everything decided not to.
Hey, Sweets, could you pull yourself into the frame?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I got all kerfuffled. Let's see. Waiting for these shots to come in. There we go. Let's get down here before all my blank images. So you can see on things like the, I'm gonna go ahead and just go down here and highlight a.
Hello, Belgium. Hello.
What up, Belgium in the house? What's up, Belgium? How's it going? Let's do, I'm gonna sort this out by date really fast because I think it's kind of out of, okay, no, they're still loading in. So let's get a shot in HSS where kind of both lights are there. So let's go there with HSS, but then also show you that you start dropping frames pretty quick depending on the light that you're using. So this right here is the freeze mode shot. If we go in here with the loop, or actually we can just zoom in with the zoom into the actual shot, pretty sharp as far as like the splashing and the action stoppage, pretty impressive. Whereas you start getting into your high-speed syncs, and because that light's on for a longer period of time, you have some edge blur. I mean, it still looks cool from a distance, but if the name of the game is capturing the action, I mean, freeze mode is just more superior here. So you could probably mitigate this some too by just kind of playing with your settings. Sorry, someone's blowing me up. There we go. You probably mitigate this some by just getting your settings right on the money, but the downside for the high-speed sync is this. it's using a lot of power because it needs a lot of power to do its job. And so what can happen is as you're trying to pulse at high frame rates, you're going to drop some light. And that's what happened right here. Our B10X was just finally like, hey man, like this is pretty fast. I can't hang. So you see that we have dark frames here on the side. So, but high-speed sync is useful. And again, if you're out in the world and you need to stop some action, it can give you the ability to do some more of that with faster shutter speeds to bring that ambient light down if you need to. Whereas when you're using your faster flash durations, you're going to need to keep the flash powers lower, and you're going to need to be able to keep your shutter speed below your camera sync speed. So it's a pretty big deal. But these are both incredibly fast flashes, so the durations you can get are really, really good. We were at a power setting of 5.5 on both of these at, I think I'm pretty sure our aperture was at like 4.5 or 5.6 at 1/60th of a second and 102 or 160 ISO and 1/250th of a second. So very cool stuff. So hopefully that was some cool information. Hopefully that kind of cleared up why freeze mode is important and the advantages of freeze mode over HSS and the advantages of HSS over freeze mode. So just to kind of recap that, freeze mode is going to give you more control, more ability to stop action because it is faster. It's faster by a lot depending on the flash that you're using over your camera's fastest shutter speed. It's going to allow you to pulse your flash faster because your frame rate of your camera is going to be able to stay high. So you have a higher success rate of stopping the action and getting the shot that you want. Also, because you have to work at lower powers, the flashes don't have as hard of a time recycling. Downside is you have to be able to control your ambient light because you have to stay below your shutter speed, and because the flashes need to be at lower power settings, kind of that 6 and below is kind of the sweet spot for these. High-speed sync, not as fast is because you're going to, one, be shooting at higher powers because your shutter speed's higher, so it's going to need to be able to fill up the frames. So you're going to be shooting at higher powers. You're going to not be able to pulse as fast because of those higher powers. The upside is if you're out in the world and there's ambient light that has to be controlled and you have to stop action, there you go. You're set up there. So once again, hopefully you learned something really, really fun. It's always fun to play with action. It's always fun to play with stopping action. If it's about anything that we talked about today, if you want to discuss any of the gear, you can jump into one of our one-on-one breakout sessions. I know that Anders is standing by. You can click one of the links in the comments section and chat it up with Anders. He gets lonely, so he would really love for you to come there. Even if you just popped in there, said, "Hi, Anders. How you doing, buddy? I hope you have a wonderful day." So, yeah. I'm trying to get you some love, Anders. I really want someone to come in there and say hi to you. But in the meantime, I hope you had an awesome time hanging out with us. We will be back tomorrow talking about more lighting stuff. So in the meantime, have an awesome week, or actually have an awesome day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. Bye, everybody.